Hey, welcome back everybody. Sorry about that. I probably just lost about 10 minutes worth of footage, so that's pretty awesome. What you missed out was the pizza, um, and maybe some ratings. I don't really know. I think I also tried the peanut butter on the cracker, and that was okay, as good as peanut butter on a cracker would be. But we did lose the footage of me eating the pizza. It was horrible. It was a cheese pizza. I've actually had the pepperoni one by Bridgestone before. Before I get too far into this, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out. It's literally the one I posted right before this. I had to do a two-parter because this whole thing where I don't have editing software right now and everything, but it doesn't matter. Point being, go watch the other video first, come back to this. You'll get a better idea of what's going on. Pizza was hard. The cheese I could take right off, and it didn't even have any sauce on the back of the cheese. Had this sort of really stinky, feet Parmesan-y taste to it. And I like Parmesan. I'll actually eat raw pieces of Parmesan with garlic all the time. But unfortunately, this was a very cheap, stinky, stinky feet flavor. Just was not very good. Um, we did try the First Strike bar, which was actually pretty good. I believe we got that in there, as well as the cashews, which were pretty good as well. I would call both of those probably about a. I'd call the cashews definitely like a 9, 8.5 or 9, because I feel like I could just eat those at a store or something like that. I could buy those at a store. Same with the First Strike, but closer maybe to like a 7.5, 8, because it's good, but it's not like, oh my God, this is so amazing. But I would definitely appreciate this if I was out in the field. Um, of course, you're not always going to get the best tasting things, but it's all right. So we don't have the footage of, like I said, of me trying the pizza. We do still have the drink, and we have the Zapple sauce. So I figure I'd let you guys see what's up with that. I don't actually have a bottle of water currently for the raspberry flavor. I could do what we used to do in school. It's so gross. When we were in school, we used to take these drink packages. We used to walk around with them in our mouths all the time. You'd spit into it a little bit and then suck the spit back up. It's horrible. It's horrible, disgusting. Everyone thought they were so cool for doing it. You'd buy like a bunch of these at school lunch and just have a bunch of guys with just red all around their mouths from fucking fruit punch flavored drink packages. Oh, that's definitely a memory. But yeah, we still have the applesauce and we have the coffee. So I figured I'd make this video just to complete those last two things. I know the other video was like 20 minutes long. It was 30. Then we forgot all that footage. Maybe it's for the better. Um, but definitely, if you enjoy this type of content or want to see anything similar, whether it's MREs, taste testing weird food, just being out in nature. I've done some geocaching shit before. I like just doing random stuff. So if any of that interests you, please leave a like, please leave a subscribe. Maybe leave me a comment, tell me what you're interested in, some things that you think would be cool to try out to do. Always open to new ideas. So let's go ahead and try this coffee. We could do a raspberry coffee now that I think about it, but I don't think that would be very good. Maybe we'll try it just for shits and shiggles, huh? So I'm gonna be honest with you, this has been sitting since we got out the pizza, which I would say is about 20 minutes ago. This has mostly lost all of its heat. I think when we made the pizza, if that shows up in the first video, there was a lot of steam coming off. It was roiling, boiling, very hot. So I think we might have wasted a lot of our heat already in that. Because the coffee's still pretty cold. I can't call this coffee right now. It's coffee colored, that's for sure, but definitely not really coffee. But I suppose we'll let that warm up for another second or two as we try the Zapple sauce. And we do also have the gum we could try. But I've heard this gum has laxatives in it, so makes you wonder sometimes. But I've had this once before. Zapple sauce, the Z means it's cool. Um, I really don't know what the Z stands for. I always get worried about stuff like this because there's a phenomenon that happens in things like applesauce packages and baby wipes, things that are commonly moist like this. And it's a type of fungus or bacteria that grows. I think it's starting to cook again. but it's normally like a bacteria that grows in kind of a rod-shaped formation. It's a sort of pinkish or reddish hue. So that's something that you have to be worried about and look out into these. But with this being applesauce as well, it's probably already going to have some sort of reddish pieces in it because it's most likely crushed up piece of apple peel. So if you do encounter something like that in a package of applesauce, be sure that you do kind of double check and give it a good look. Odds are it's probably just the rind or the peel, but you never know, and food safety is paramount, especially when consuming products that you don't know the origins of specifically. And that's what I was saying in the first video. These MRE packages, normally the boxes have a color-coded sticker on them that when they reach a certain temperature, they permanently change color. So you as a consumer or you as a guy doing an inspection in the military can identify that these are possibly bad because of the temperature that they've been kept at. But just on the back, just says applesauce. Applesauce enhanced with maltodextrin for increased performance. Now I've tried honey packs that have said the same thing, and all they gave me was an anxiety attack. So let's hope this is not the same. Let's bust the spoon out. Let's bust the spoon out so you guys can get a good visual of what's going on here. Yes, I just used a pair of scissors to open up a piece of plastic. Keeps it clean. You should not feel barbaric. So let's pour out a little bit into the spoon, shall we? Okay. Okay. Oop, dropped a little on the table. That should be all right. Now, as I said, this does have some little red dots in it, but again, most likely apple peel. You never really know. We'll take, so we're not dripping everywhere, take a kind of look at that. So we got some rind in there, basically just applesauce. A little grainy looking, but nothing really crazy going on there. Fix our camera back. Gotta level off that a little bit. All right, let's give it a try. We'll give it a smell first. Smells just like applesauce. Now again, when you do eat MREs, be careful. If you ever taste something that tastes rancid or seems to make your mouth numb or a little tingly, be careful with it. Some things you will get in MREs that are a little bit spicy, like the goulash. Goulash is great, by the way, if you've never had the goulash. But you're more looking for like a weird numbing, tingly, like a battery sensation, I've heard. And personally, I don't enjoy eating rancid food, so I don't personally know the taste. But, you know, it's basically just a really sweet applesauce. Nothing super different about it. You can maybe say that you can taste almost like a powder, if that makes sense, like they use a powdered sweetener. But that might just be in my head. I don't even know what maltodextrin looks like. So maybe it is a powder. But as applesauce goes, it's a pretty fine applesauce. I'm not a big consumer of applesauce, to be honest with you guys. I like the apple more than I like applesauce, but it's a pretty good applesauce. I'd say if that was served up into me in like a little cup or like one of those little Go Squeeze packages like it is already at a store, I'd probably just think it was regular applesauce. It really makes your hand real sticky. I can feel it. So you can definitely tell it's definitely sweetened with something more. Got this real tacky sweet stickiness to it. Yeah, as far as applesauce goes, really not that bad. I assume how you're supposed to eat it as you're traveling is you just kind of roll the package up as you're going about your day in the military, and then you know shoot, slurp, 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 slurp. You know what I'm saying? You know, it seems like a pretty pretty easy process to take in. I don't think there's any manual or anything you're going to need for this type of experience. Now, for some reason, I will say, it tasted warmer eating it right out of the pack than it did on the spoon. I don't know if that makes sense, but definitely had a warmer kind of feel to it. I don't know if that's just because the wind hit it. Maybe because I'm gripping it tightly, warming it up with my hand. But yeah, as far as that goes, you can definitely tell it's not like the most ultra minced, purified apple sauce. I don't know if that's a thing, but there's definitely parts of, like, you can see little core pieces maybe, or little bits of flesh that aren't just applesauce. That translucent color of applesauce, you can see some flesh in there. You can see some of the meat, you know. I think maybe it'd even be possible to see a seed in something like this. Just seems like something that's not overly processed, which is a weird thing to say about an MRE, but seems like it's a very quick, like, throw the apples in, get the applesauce kind of operation, you know. Quite good. I would enjoy this. I'm not even an applesauce enjoyer. Nice sweet applesauce. It's fine. I like it. So finally, I think we should end on our drink. And again, sorry for the length of the video. It's probably something I have to bang out. I mean, honestly, I like longer form content like this. Sometimes I like to just listen to somebody talk, almost like I'm having a conversation. It's also fun to just talk, almost like I'm having a conversation, you know? I don't always enjoy people, so it's good to kind of get out and express some things, you know? Something I recommend we all do. So I think this is probably the hottest that our coffee's going to get. And actually, it is feeling a little bit warm now. So we might actually have a good chance here. So here's our coffee in our bag, looking pretty coffee-like, if I had to say so. Let me just remove. And for the safety of ourselves and others, we need to dump any remaining water out of this package to help stop it from continuing to produce hydrogen, which once again is flammable and dangerous. And you should never put these in something like a 2-liter jug and then close it and then put it on a fire. That would be a very bad idea to do, and I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, don't do that. It's not that hot right now. There is kind of the top I can feel is a little bit warmer, but I think for the most part that most of the power has been used out of that. So now we have our hot beverage bag, which I would say is pretty warm, shower temperature. Nothing burning, but a pleasant warmth. And already just from like wiping our hands twice, I mean, that's how much napkin we have left. I mean, it comes in like this little thing, and you could, if you really wanted to, you could peel off, like, I mean, how many fingers am I holding up? Like, you know, what is this gonna do realistically is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, it's nice to have at least. You never know when you might need a napkin in the shape of 20. But so it does, unfortunately, my last one did too. It's picked up some of that hydrogen smell, that sort of chemically smell, and I don't really appreciate that in my drinks. But nonetheless, this is an experience that we must experience, so let's experience it together. We have some sugar we'll plop on in there. Now this is just a regular Enjoy sugar, like you would get anywhere, you know, a gas station, an office, anything like that. These are probably sitting in that little black cup next to the Splendas and equals at Waffle House, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much the same thing we're working with, what I'm trying to say. They're kind enough to give you two different options. Personally, I don't think one sugar is enough, but a sugar plus a Splenda. I'm not a big fan of Splendas either, but at least it helps. You get that sugar so you can kind of even out that sweetness with some real sweetness instead of just that totally fake sweetness. God, the applesauce gave me a little bit of hiccups. Or maybe it was the soda mixed with the applesauce. I don't really know. So here's our non-dairy creamer. And this is just a standard creamer, I believe. Corn syrup, solids, coconut oil, sodium caseinate, a milk derivative, dipotassium phosphate, contains 2% or less of the following mono and diglycerides, sodium aluminum silicate. Sounds healthy. Get that all nice and mixed together. Give it a little shake up, get that nice and creamy, getting us a nice creamy coffee look to everything. As you can see, we got a motorcycle driver driving by, giving us a little bit of a peek. But I mean, that's coffee. You know, you couldn't not call that coffee. It's definitely some type of Nesquik instant coffee or something along those lines. What song is he listening to? Alright, so giving it a smell, if you guys want to look, I mean, I'd tip it over so you could look on the inside, but I don't think that'd be a very smart idea to do with something like this. So, it smells like coffee. Let's give it a taste, you know? What else is there to do? Yeah. Now, Splenda does really help. I actually had one of these coffee packs while I was on the road about a month or so back, and it didn't actually come with the Splenda. It just had a single enjoy sugar. That was not a pleasant experience. The Splenda really does help even it out, and the sugar does give it that slight bit of real sweetness, so your body still knows you're getting something at least, you know. I will say it's always funny that they expect you to drink out of these pouches. I don't know if you're like traditionally supposed to move it to your canteen. That doesn't sound right because I figure your canteen's all the fresher water you want to keep. But these drink bags specifically are kind of odd. But they have the other ones that usually the milk, the not milk drinks, muscle milk and stuff like that comes in. And they're kind of like bent in more like that. So when you grab them, they kind of have more of a shape that makes sense, you know, whereas this is a little more funky. So you got to be a little bit more creative with the way you drink out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's just coffee. It's not the greatest coffee. And it's not that sweet, and there's no like caramel or brown sugar flavor, so it's definitely not your typical Starbucks drink. But I mean, if you were really needing something while you were out there working hard, you just need a little pick me up, I can see how this could do it. I always like MREs that have sort of a creativity to them, you know, where you can do different things if you didn't want to. Eat something in a specific way, like the shortbread cookies, for example, I like because you can put the jelly packs on the shortbread cookies when they give you them, and that's pretty fucking fire. If you never had it like that, I'd definitely recommend it. But I don't see a lot of creativity with this one. The cashews are nice. The first strike bar is really nice. First time I've had one of those. Again, not again, but again. You know what I'm saying? Applesauce is just applesauce. I like it. Wish it would not have came in this meal because I'm not that particularly hungry right now, and I would have appreciated being able to finish it. But I think it's gonna be one we're gonna have to junk, unfortunately. The cashews and the first strike bar, however, I definitely will be finishing. I'm still a little bummed out that the pizza ended up tasting as bad as it did, but that's just how the world works sometimes. So, yeah. So I suppose just for fun, we'll go ahead and try our little gum pack. I also give a rating on the coffee. I'd say like a 5.56. I wouldn't lean it towards a 4 because then that'd be almost saying it's a bad thing, and it's not really a bad thing. It's not very good. Now I've tried these gums before, and they don't have much of a taste. The taste usually wears out pretty quickly. We'll break one open real quick just so you can kind of get an idea. what we're working with. It's plain, like, almost like those little packs of Denton you would get. I almost wonder if it's the same company because it looks kind of similar. But let's try a piece out. Immediate mint taste. It's gum. I think it's pepperminty maybe, over like a spearmint. I don't know exactly. I don't know my mints that well. Definitely feels a little bit more pepperminty though, which might be smart because if these have peppermint oil in it, I think peppermint oil can actually settle the stomach, if I'm not mistaken. So I could see how that could be a useful thing on the field. But for the most part, I'd give that gum just a 5. You know, I could see how on the field, like I said again, it's nice to have something to break the routine before you go slowly mad. But at the same time, would it kill you to put a slice of juicy fruit in there? I mean, shit, bro. I mean, but as for the MRE, can't remember what menu item it was, maybe 20. Cheese pizza. Everything comes with it, besides the pizza, is pretty good. Enjoyed the cashews, enjoyed the fresh strike bar. Coffee's nice. This applesauce is nice. Crackers with peanut butter. Peanut butter is always a good thing to have. Always appreciate when it comes. It comes in most of the MREs. I don't think all of them, but most of them. Other than that, really great experience. Again, if you didn't check out the first part, I check out the first part. Sorry if this is a little bit longer. I like to ramble. If you don't like that I ramble, maybe let me know. Maybe tell me to keep these a little shorter. If you like that I talk, maybe you want to have a talk with me sometime, go right ahead. Leave something in the comments. We'll talk about it the next time I come up with something like this, and we do a little checking out of some MREs or something different. I know I still have plenty of MREs left. Probably got at least 16 different mills left, and also have some FEMA MREs that are vegetarian only. They don't actually come with a heater. I think there's 3 mills for those. You get like a lentil soup. You get like a tomato with penne, like some other tomato bean kind of thing going on. I don't remember exactly, but those aren't that bad either. But we might try those out sometime. So that's something that interests you. But yeah, thank everybody for stopping by, checking out my content. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't party too hard, and if you do, just try to have fun, man. I'll see you guys. Doses.